Chapter 8. Before entering the concert, security had rigorously searched the audience to ensure that they didn't bring in any video recording equipment besides mobile phones. So no one had taken a clear and complete video of Ojinan's concert. But the blurry clips a few netizens had released online were already enough to draw attention and enthusiasm from the masses. Good songs never lacked for listeners. Never mind the heirloom masterpieces that were immensely popular in countless small worlds that Zhou Sheng had deliberately selected. These videos quickly spread through the internet, and people constantly bombarded Huanya Entertainment News' official website with messages akin to asking to buy the complete genuine HD concert disc. In just 3 days, the number of pre-orders had already reached the hundreds of thousands. This late sale of the concert disc was Huanya Entertainment News' plan. Otherwise, they wouldn't have invested so much funds in vain. While releasing the disc, they also planned to release a Chinese and English version of Because of You as an EP, then have it chart on famous domestic and international charts. They had no doubt that the song would create a miracle. Of course, the other 20 songs were just as good and would surely set off a tornado called Ojinan in the domestic and international music scene. While Hanya Entertainment News was actively preparing for late publicity, Times Records was caught up in an unprecedented crisis. Zhou Sheng submitted the video to the court as evidence, and under the exhaustive pursuit of reporters, the court had no choice but to announce that the video was indeed real and reliable. This news attracted the attention of all parties, and the influx of abuse on Lin Xixing's blog increased day by day, quickly overwhelming the webpage. A large majority of his fans unfollowed him, leaving messages of how they had misjudged him, were very, very disappointed in him, and would never love him again. When Lin Xixing had sued Ojinan for plagiarism, Times Record had immediately come forward and announced that they would block Ojinan. Times Record will not tolerate dishonest artists. This sentence was posted on the official website until today. At that time, many people praised this sentence, but now it had become a big joke. The one who should be punished got off scot-free, while the innocent victim was cut off from their livelihood. Times Record's actions are simply mind-boggling. The day after the concert, Times Record's stocks plummeted, billions instantly evaporated. If this crisis was not dealt with perfectly, it would be kicked out of the ranks of entertainment giants. Yun Ji-wan's long-retired father personally went to the company, pointed at him, and cursed him out for a few hours. Lin Xixing and Kim Meng-shu were hidden in their homes, not daring to see anyone. Now what? I told you to make a big deal out of it, but you didn't listen. I told you not to make a big deal out of it, but you didn't listen. How can we cancel it at this stage? The evidence has already been submitted and filed. There is no way to retract my statement now. I'm screwed, completely screwed. Are you satisfied? Are you happy? Lin Xixing had long lost his usual elegance and calm. He pointed at his manager's nose and loudly questioned. The manager was silent, his downcast eyes full of despair. Back then, Oji Bai's one comment, "You're no good," immediately destroyed his road to fame. He struggled to get ahead for several years, but in the end, he could only change professions to become a manager. Oji Bai destroyed his dream, so he hated him, but he couldn't fight against him. Thus, this hatred had passed on to Ojinan. He wanted to destroy Ojinan like Oji Bai had destroyed him. But he couldn't have predicted that things would end up like this. The manuscript submitted to the court backfired and became proof of Lin Shiqing's lies, and everyone in Sea Country was watching Lin Shiqing's humiliation. There was no way out. They could no longer save themselves. They could only wait for the court and public trial. It's fair to assume that Lin Shiqing's journey to become the king of the music industry would end here, and all of his brilliant achievements would be reduced to rubble. In the future, whenever someone mentions him, they would only use shameless plagiarist or ungrateful villain to refer to his name. That kind of future was terrible. The manager covered his face, not daring to contemplate it any further. Lin Shiqing was a superstar. His mentality was a little stronger than his manager's. Barely suppressing his panic and anger, he called Yun Shi-yuan. Now only the company could save him. While Lin Shiqing was on the verge of collapse, Meng-shu wasn't much better off. Although she was not the one who plagiarized, when the EP was being promoted, the company's tagline was Lin Shiqing tailor-made love song for Meng-shu. This gimmick had netted her many fans, but now it stuck to her like a fishy smell, impossible to wash off. It wasn't a love song, it was a requiem. The year's most tear-joking love song, most heartful singing performance, and other such beautiful praises now seemed like a downright joke. It became a desecration of the dead, the most shameful scam of the century. Thinking of this, Meng-shu looked like she had been grabbed by the hair and mercilessly slapped dozens of times. Her cheeks were hot and painful. In the past, she received glory for this song, and now she had to pay a bitter price for it. She turned on the computer with shaky hands and phoned her supportive post for Lin Shiqing. I believe in Senior Brother's talent and character. I beg you guys to restrain yourself. Don't discredit his father's name. This sentence was once praised by countless people, and now it was once again on the trending page. The netizens were ridiculing Meng-shu, saying, whoever breastfeeds is the mother, helping Tyrant Joe in his oppression. Hugging any thigh to climb higher, no sense of right and wrong. Someone even said that her because of you was a lump of shit compared to Ojinan's version, emitting a nauseating stench. Get out of the music business. You and Lin Shiqing don't deserve to make music. Ojinan-sama is right. You guys are not worth forgiving. Is it fun to stomp on the dead to rise to the top? What upcoming music diva? Bullshit. Please apologize to Ojinan-sama and the deceased Mr. Ojibai. Otherwise, I will hack your computer within 24 hours and expose all your shameful secrets to the public. Threatening messages after threatening message made Gu Mengshu feel very frightened. She turned off her computer and pulled at her hair. Anger, regret, horror, and other such negative emotions almost drove her crazy. She'd struggled to get where she was today, paying a price that many ordinary people couldn't imagine. But just as she was about to reach the glorious summit, she suddenly found the building supporting her crumbling overnight. Whether or not she could safely pass through this crisis was the least of her problems. The only choice she had now was the one that preserved what little reputation she had left. I must distance myself. I must tell the world that I was also deceived. With such thoughts in mind, Meng-shu picked up the phone to make a call. Yun Ji-yuan had forced out the truth from Lin Shiqing. That song had indeed been plagiarized from Ojinan. Even if he hadn't admitted it, Ojinan's video was proof enough. As long as their brain was normal, no fan would still believe in Lin Xiqing. He had fallen from the altar of the music gods. The followers on his blog had dropped from over 70 million to a few hundred. If he'd plagiarized another song, perhaps there would be some hope for a comeback after the storm passed. But he unfortunately plagiarized the requiem Ojinan had written for Ojibai. Ojibai had treated him no different than his own son. After his death, he left him a substantial inheritance. Everyone in Sea Country knew about it. He'd betrayed his benefactor and trampled over the dead. The vile behavior was simply unforgivable. Thinking about Lin Qiqing's plea for help, Yan Ji-yuan felt a massive headache, but the other man was Time Record's cash cow. He had to try to save him. Soon afterwards, his closest lover also called, and Yun Ji-yuan's wavering heart finally found a direction. If saving them both was possible, then that would be great, but if not, he could only abandon Lin Qiqing and do his best to save Ge Mengshu. Hanya Entertainment News swiftly launched the EP and HD concert album, slaughtering all the most well-known music charts at home and abroad. The top 10 songs on the Billboard chart, BBC Bulletin Board, eCountry's UK chart, eCountry's Oricon chart, and other charts all came from Ojinan's concert album. Even the international music diva Meta Jones expressed interest in covering the English version of Because of You. She even frankly admitted to the media that she cried every time she listened to the song. No matter where you went, as long as there was a stereo, it would be playing one of Ojinan's songs. All who heard them couldn't help humming along, shaken by his voice over and over again. Ojinan was popular. He became a global sensation at an unimaginable speed. His musical talent made even the Hall of Fame musicians express their admiration. In less than half a month, the album and EP sold more than 10 million copies worldwide, netting Hwanya Entertainment News hundreds of millions in profits, and the continuously rising popularity was a sign that the album would become an immortal classic, priceless in value. When the sales statistic came out, the netizen expressed, "Originally, everyone thought that San Chimu had lost his mind, giving Ojinan over 10 million to burn away for fun. But it turns out that the ones who were brain damaged was us. When everyone was blinded by Lin Qiqing, he was the only one who saw the value in Ojinan. He is indeed the god of investment. Only he has the courage to help a ruined person host a concert. He contributed to Ojinan's success and future. Ojinan will contribute to Hanya Entertainment News' success." Ojinan did indeed contribute to Hanya Entertainment's news success. When Time Records' stock price fell, Hwanya CEO seized the opportunity to buy a large number of shares and quietly settling into Time Records' board of directors. Soon the status quo of the original duopoly would completely change, becoming a monopoly. Now Hunya Entertainment News was anxious to serve Ojinan like an ancestor. They not only gave him 3 personal assistants and a gold-level manager, they also brought out the best and most comprehensive resources for him to pick from. At the moment, Jun Sheng was sitting on a sofa, leafing through several contracts. There is a car endorsement, watch endorsement, and clothing endorsement. What should I pick? He closed the folder and tilted his head to look at the man working solemnly behind the desk. "You can pick whichever you want." Although the man didn't look up, his tone was gentle and pampering. Then I don't want any. I only like singing and writing songs. I don't want to bother with anything else. Julian Sheng had inherited all of Ujinan's tone deafness. Then focus on singing. I'll make Lily reject all the contracts. San Shimu put down his documents and walked to the sofa. He bent over and pulled the young man into his arms, his tone extremely indulgent. Yuan Zhang gently chuckled, then puckered his lips and kissed the other man's firm chin. San Shimu's eyes darkened. He was preparing to devour his lover when he heard his assistant's voice at the door. Chief Sun, Chief Yun of Times Record wants to meet you. Sun Chimu raised his eyebrows and was about to send the man away when he saw his lover slightly shake his head. He had no choice but to let the other man in.